Today's movie is the straight Evil Dead knockoff. It has a cabin in the woods, gore, a legion of demons, and a group of friends ready to be possessed and killed. Despite that, it has some unique elements, and with them, it tries to crawl from the shadow of the cult classic series. The movie begins in a remote cabin with a wounded woman writing a goodbye letter. Her demon-possessed daughter shows up and starts playing mind tricks. The woman begs the demon to leave them alone, but the demon has a moral duty, so he kills the daughter by stabbing a needle through her heart. Then we get an establishing shot of the cabin. A few days pass, and it's time to meet the main cast. Emily and her boyfriend Jesse bought the cabin at the beginning of the movie, so Emily can take better care of her brother Zach, who is diagnosed with cerebral palsy after he survived a fatal car crash in which their mother died. Naturally, 3 victims are not enough, so Emily and Jesse brought their friends Woodrow and Michelle to spend a few days with them. The group stops at the gas station to refill and use the restroom. Woodrow finds the owner, Bully, drunk as a skunk on the floor, and after he finds out that he also makes beer, Woodrow strikes a deal with Billy, buys a pack, and orders another one, which the owner will bring to the cabin in a few days. Emily takes Zach to the restroom, and at the same time, Jesse devours Michelle with his eyes. Woodrow arrives, and it's time for exposition. Zach opens up and tells the couple he didn't sleep with Emily for quite some time because she is only thinking about her brother, and that frustrates him a lot. Woodrow encourages him by saying that nature and fresh air will relax Emily. Yeah, sure. Anyway, the group arrives at the cabin where they meet an agent who gives them the keys and informs them that stuff of previous owners is still in the cabin and they can take them. He doesn't mention the cabin's rich history of demons. Instead, he quickly leaves. Emily and Jesse take Zach to their new room, while Michelle and Woodrow decide to spice things up, and we find out that Michelle is pregnant. Night falls, and the group decides to have some fun, so Woodrow pulls out Billy's homemade beer. The beer kicks in, and the group has the night of their life. However, the room's temperature starts to get cold, so Woodrow pulls out a board that was on a window to throw it into the fire, but he finds some spooky symbols. The name Bauer is written in a circle around the symbol, and Jesse suggests that the previous owners were part of some weird religious group. The group finds more names on other boards, so they Google them, only to discover that those are names of some of the hardcore famous demons. At the same time, Zach falls from the bed and hears a demon's voice that tells him that he can be healed. Emily and Jesse go to bed, and to Jesse's luck, Emily is in the mood for some action. However, they don't notice Zach, who is spying on them behind the door. As he closes them, Emily gets spooked and gets turned off. Sorry, Jesse, no luck for you. A loud noise wakes Emily up in the middle of the night. She goes out to find the source and discovers a dozen moving bodies in sealed bags. One gets out of the bag, so Emily flees to bed into Jesse's arms. However, Jesse's hormones took a tool and transformed him into something sinister. But all of that was just a dream. Emily and Jesse go to check on Zach, and they see him getting up, so they immediately call the doctor. Soon, Dr. Weisenberg arrives, and Emily tells him everything about this morning's discovery. The doctor gives him a checkup, and Zach draws an X on his neck. I'm sure that's nothing alarming. Anyway, the doctor is blown away by the improvement of Zach's condition, so he decides to take him to an institute for a better checkup. In the car, the doctor talks with his colleague about the amazingness of Zach's case, without knowing that Zach is suspiciously holding a pen. Jesse and Woodrow go outside to chop wood and make a barbecue, while Emily and Michelle clean the cabin. Later, we get more exposition, as Emily tells Michelle that Jesse, who worked as a professor, was forced to take a vacation because there was a rumor that he had an affair with a female student. Apparently, her boyfriend found out about the affair and killed her and himself. Emily then decides to investigate the cabin's basement, and there she finds more demonic stuff and some information about the previous owner, who moved in here with her very sick daughter. Emily calls the boys to show them what she found, and she shows them a giant demonic symbol on the wall. The group then goes to a living room to sum things up and figure out what all those demonic symbols mean. And Emily gets the idea to call the doctor and ask him if he knows anything about the previous owner. However, the doctor is pretty much dead, and we see Zach slowly walking back to the cabin. Emily freaks out because the doctor is not answering, but Jesse sees Zach outside. The group notices that his eyes look strange, and he tells them that someone is coming. They take Zach back into the cabin, and the demon inside of him starts acting crazy. It calls Michelle a baby killer because she had an abortion a few years ago. That upsets her, so she goes to the bathroom where she finds blood in a bathtub and a creepy baby doll. Suddenly, she hears the demon's voice encouraging her to remove a baby from her womb. She takes a pair of scissors and heads to her room. The rest of the group decides that it's best to leave, but they see some stranger creatures around the house. Then Billy arrives with his beer, and those creatures take him into oblivion. The demon in Zach's body tells Woodrow to go check on Michelle because she is killing their baby. So Woodrow and Zach immediately head to the room, where they find bloody Michelle lying on the bed. Emily finds out that Zach threw their phones into the fire. He tells her that no one must come, and then collapses. Woodrow leaves the room to find something to patch Michelle up with, and tries to persuade Zach to stop these shenanigans. However, that doesn't change anything, because Michelle gets possessed in Evil Dead style. She attacks Jesse and stabs him in the cheek. He tries to fight back, but Michelle stabs him in the eye with a needle. In a panic, Jesse shoves a knife into her head and stops her. Emily and Woodrow find dead Michelle and Jesse wounded. Emily takes Jesse to the bathroom, where he pulls the needle out of his eye. She then starts asking him questions about Michelle, but Jesse, who is in a lot of pain, tells her to stop being annoying and shut up. Then Emily delivers the worst line ever in the history of cinema as she furiously asks Jesse why he is acting like this. "I do not know, Emily. Maybe he's in pain because he got stabbed right in the eye." Woodrow decides to get answers out of Zach, but the demon starts playing tricks on him, and soon he hallucinates and sees a boy from high school who killed himself because Woodrow bullied him. Woodrow then freaks out, falls from the stairs, and hurts himself badly. Emily and Zach try to help him out, but Woodrow gets possessed and attacks Jesse. Luckily, Emily decides to be useful and smacks Woodrow in the head. Jesse then goes to Zach's room to find medications because Zach is having a seizure. And in there, he finds a talking corpse of the student with whom he had an affair. The demon is playing tricks again, and Jesse proceeds to stab the girl, but instead, he stabs himself. Zach gets better, so Emily checks on Jesse and finds out he is wounded. "I'm not an expert, but the wound seems really serious." Despite this, Jesse survives along with Emily, and they head to the basement in an attempt to stop the demon. The demon then grabs a drill, fixes Woodrow's body, and heads into the basement. Emily finds out that the boards with symbols worked as seals against the demon. The demon shows up and stabs Jesse with a rod. Then it attacks Emily, who pulls the rod out of Jesse and kills it. You already know the drill. Jesse survives. Oh, if I only had $1 for every time Jesse was stabbed in this movie. Emily goes to see if Zach is okay, and she finds him drawing symbols on pieces of paper. Zach can talk now, so he tells Emily how grateful he is for her help. The two of them share an emotional moment, and Emily takes the papers with symbols to steal the demon once again. But Jesse stabs her. Jesse is now possessed, and the demon gives Emily a speech about how Jesse hated her for not sleeping with him. Emily pulls an ember out of the furnace and throws it at Jesse. That buys her enough time to get up and impale him. Emily starts attaching papers with symbols on windows, using her blood as glue. However, the blood from her wound dries up, and then the demon plays another trick by manifesting itself as Emily's mother. The mother tells Emily that she misses them a lot and would love it if they would be together again. However, Emily isn't that stupid, so she cuts her palm and sticks the last symbol to the window, banishing the demon and its friends outside. Suddenly, Jesse wakes up and asks Emily to pull the poker out of him. As he grunts in pain, Emily assures him that everything will be all right. But surprise, Jesse is still possessed. He overpowers Emily and starts hitting her. To his luck, Zach kills Jesse and saves her, but she suddenly can't feel her legs. The movie ends as Zach, who is now cured, and Emily, who is now in a wheelchair, leave the cabin. Emily hears the demon's voice promising her that she will be healed like her brother if she returns to the house. However, Emily ignores him and leaves the wretched place with Zach. All that is left for me to say is that the movie has some unique elements, but it relies heavily upon Evil Dead, mirroring a lot of things that keep it in the cult classic's giant shadow. If you enjoyed this movie recap, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see more of these, subscribe to the channel and check out our other videos.